Hello there and welcome back to another video. I said I wasn't going to make any videos unless it was, unless something had happened that was worth talking about, and obviously Liverpool made something worth talking about, so we're going to talk about some stuff there. I'm not going to go too far into it because of the resolution that's happened since then, but before we get into any of that, I'd just like to wish every one of you the best of health and the best of wishes to whoever is watching this, whether there's a lot of people, whether there's only a few people, whoever watches this, I hope wherever you are in the world that you're doing okay, you'll be able to stay safe, and I just hope that you're being taken care of in some way, whether you're taking care of yourself or whether you're taking care of other people. Whatever you're doing, stay safe and just look after yourselves as best as possible. If you can look after someone else, do that as well. But let's get into it. So a quote that is actually quite appropriate and it basically sums up all of the feelings, that the negativity that Liverpool went through over the past weekend, up until they've changed their decision, and even after they've reversed their decision, was it's like going to a food bank when you're still able to go to a supermarket and comfortably buy all of your food. So Liverpool decided at one point that they were going to furlough staff and go through the government scheme, which would be the government scheme of being paid 80% of your wage by the government, and the other 20% was going to be made up by Liverpool, apparently. Now, Liverpool have since, or a source of some sort related to Liverpool has claimed that they believe this was leaked by a rival club. How true that is, I have no idea, but it actually, by claiming that, it doesn't actually make it look any better for Liverpool anyway. It doesn't, because the fact of the matter is that that was the road that they were trying to go down. Now, Peter Moore put out a very big letter for supporters and that, with an apology in there as well, detailed what they had like 3 strategies that they were going to do. Obviously they're not going to use this one now, they have pulled out of the government scheme one, but it's, when you've got a club that our slogan and our massive promoting thing is "this means more," and then they were going to go and try and use a government scheme when it's a club that can comfortably still pay their employees or their non-playing staff or whatever it was, or non-essential staff, whatever it was, they could still comfortably pay those members of staff, whether it was for them to stay at home or whatever. Instead, they should have just done that. They should have just done that. If you want to furlough staff, but do it in a like a socialist sort of way, and really represent and put through what you are trying to get the club to stand for, you do it off your own back. You don't go to the government. You don't go and use the schemes that, like, I'm actually seeing. I am part of, like, as of yesterday, I've been told that I will be furloughed from Thursday this week, and it's kind of gutting, to be honest. It's kind of gutting the way that you get told as well, but my manager is not the most sensitive of people either. I'm not the most sensitive of people either, but it really actually struck me a little bit like, wow, you could not give a shit. It's not a nice feeling to be told that you're going to get furloughed, and it does. They say it's not going to create job uncertainty, but it's there. You can tell it's there. You don't know how businesses are going to recover, whether businesses will recover whatsoever. But this government scheme isn't like, oh, cool, we'll send all the staff home, it's going to save everything. That's not what it feels like at all. It means that you're going to get paid 80% of your wage, which for me is a drop of about £60, about £60 a week. So we're looking at losing £240 a month. Yes, there are different ways that we can go around, organising things, delaying your mortgage or offsetting your mortgage, whatever. I can't remember the exact right word. There are things that I can drop. There are definitely loads of things that I can drop in terms of like phone bills and stuff like that. There's definitely ways of going about it to circumvent being furloughed. But what would have made the staff at Liverpool feel that little bit more valued is if the club turned around and said, listen, we're going to send you home. We are going to secure your job though. Please do not worry. Once we start operating as normal, we will have you back in. Until then, we are going to pay 100% of your wages. Please go home. Do not worry. Stay safe. Stay well. Blah, blah, blah. Instead, by going through the government scheme where it's like, listen, you're going to go through 80% of your wage. We're going to try and top it up until to the other 20%, so you still get 100% of your wage. It doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. And like I say, that quote at the start, that I think it was just something that was really grabbed by Twitter quite heavily. It's like going to a food bank when you're still able to go to the supermarket, you know. And obviously, like, Liverpool are massive supporters of the food banks and stuff like that on match days, and also not just match days as well. They actually retweet and tweet out about food banks and stuff like that as well. So it's quite an ironic, sort of tweet. Now, in some ways, Liverpool do deserve credit for reversing their decision. Now, the fact that they only made that decision really because of the pressure that they were put under by all of the scrutiny and criticism that they received over the weekend, not just from rival fans and the media, but also our own fans as well. Like, you looked at it. I remember literally my instant reaction, and I'll give you it. My instant reaction when I saw it flash up on my phone literally was one of like, that's not good. That's not good. And most Liverpool fans that I've spoken to, in fact, every Liverpool fan I've spoken to, which isn't many in my local area, everyone around here seems to be a Man United fan, which is disgusting. But every one of them have just said that's not a good move by the club. That's a really, really silly move by the club to go through the government furlough scheme. It really is. Because these aren't just like your normal, like the business that I work for. It's not like that type of business where they are literally like day by day looking at scenarios of like, how can we save this business? Like, and that's where they're looking for. Liverpool aren't going to go bust overnight. Liverpool aren't going to go bust in a week or two. Like, football clubs of that size, of our size, Man City size, United size certainly, and obviously then when you see the likes of United and City coming out a day or two after saying, yep, we're not going to furlough our staff like that. If anything, we're going to do it ourselves, 100% of the wage, we're going to secure our workers' jobs. Makes it look even worse for Liverpool. On the flip side of that a little bit though, Tottenham haven't been hammered anywhere near as much as Liverpool have, and Tottenham still haven't backed out of that scheme. Tottenham probably most likely will still go through the scheme, in my opinion, because they've got the stadium to pay for, which is going to take so much. And I just think that they probably will actually use this as a way of going, we don't want to spend the money. And I'm not criticising Tottenham for that. They obviously, when they built their £1 billion stadium, didn't see a pandemic coming, like no one saw a pandemic coming. So they're probably going to stick through this game. So, as I say, in a way, Liverpool do deserve credit for reversing their decision, whether it was because of media pressure or not, whatever. But what they need to make sure of, for damn sure, what would be nice, and I've literally just thought of this in the last couple of seconds, what would be nice if something like this, or something as drastic as this, ever happened again in future, is go to the supporters groups first. Yes, it's a business decision, but you need to go and really go to the supporters groups that are going to understand what the local area and the city, how they would react to something like this, and they'd be able to give you that information that you could go on, and then you'd hopefully make the correct decision before ever going public with it, whether it was leaked or not, or however it was found by the media. Do that first. It's like doing your due diligence, finding out what your core base, your fan base, and the people of Liverpool as well, how would they react to something like this? And then you can say, listen, we're going to get backlash to hell like this if we apply for this government fund. So tell you what we'll do, we'll scrap that idea completely, and we'll do it off our own back. We should be comfortable that we can pay our staff 100% of their wages, we can send them home, and then they've got a job to come back to. We can do that. Everything is tickety-boo, no criticism whatsoever. That's what they need to do in future. Go to the fan groups like Spirit of Shankly, who were very good at keeping everyone informed of what was going to happen, in a very like non-critical way, like not like totally bashing Liverpool completely. They wrote letters. They were in contact, waiting for contact with Liverpool as well, and they were one of the ones that was put in the letter by Peter Moore as well as a reference to who they've spoken to. They need to do that in future to avoid PR disasters like this, because it's a PR disaster for Liverpool. You know, you can't go through with this whole like, this means more sort of, you know, propaganda slogan and everything like that they've been doing for like the last 2 years, and say, well, does it mean more? Really? Doesn't look like it when you do stuff like that. But they've reversed their decision. It sucks to be furloughed. There's plenty of people that have been furloughed before I have, and it's not a nice feeling. People think, oh yeah, you just get to stay home for a certain amount of time. It's like it's not that. Like, yeah, getting some time off work and stuff like that is all right. It's not bad, but at the end of the day, like, it's just uncertainty is what people don't need. So hopefully, with Liverpool doing that, and the people that do work for Liverpool in the non-essential jobs, as they keep calling them, which is just, again, ridiculous as labelling, hopefully they get, you know, taken care of properly now. And for the rest of the nation, hopefully we can... I don't know what we'll do. I really don't know what we'll do. There seems to be no end in sight for this virus and the pandemic that's going on. Just got to ride it out and see what happens. What will happen is I've got an unprecedented amount of time coming my way, come like Thursday and Friday. So most likely there will be more videos than normal. Yeah, I don't know what they'll be based on. I might start doing some gaming. I still play games all the time. I just don't make videos on them. I might do some stuff like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you've got any ideas. But listen, let me know what your thoughts are on the whole Liverpool situation. They've received a hell of a lot of criticism recently. They have made the right decision in the end, but let's hope that in future they don't do stuff like this just off the cuff, and they go and check, like I said before, check with the supporters groups, because they will give you all the information that they need on the local areas. They should have done that in the first place, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below of this whole situation, and as I said at the start of the video, please stay safe, be well, look after yourselves, look after each other if you can, safely, but for now, looking after everyone else seems to be staying at home. And that is pretty much what most of us are going to have to start doing if we haven't already. And please, 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 I know I don't reach out to a lot of people here. I don't have the greatest, like, you know, viewing base or anything like that. Please, don't mass gather. Don't mass gather. Don't go to parks and stuff like that. You know, I know the sun is beaming at the moment, but for Christ's sake, the sun will beam again at a time when we're not during a pandemic, whenever that is. This pandemic will be over a lot quicker, and the restrictions that we're under will be over a lot quicker if people just listen, stay at home, enjoy. If you don't have a garden, I don't know what to say. Tough shit, unlucky. It's one of those things. If you don't have a garden, live in your house or live in your flat, wherever you live. Go for your 1 hour's like exercise outside or something like that, and if you know, do that. Go and do that. And if you don't want to do that, stay in your house, because you're not making it easier for anybody else when you get like 3,000 people in a park in London. What are you doing? What are you doing? And it's not just that. It's like people, like places up here where I live, people going out, mass gathering, going on walks and stuff like that. It's like, come on, have a bit of sense. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you take care of yourselves, and I hope again to speak to you pretty soon. Catch you later.